Welcome to the ACES Energy Farm Safety Training course. Before you can conduct any work at the energy farm, you must complete two safety training requirements. First, complete the ACES Farm Hazard Training course in Compass 2G. If you have not done this online training, ask your supervisor how to access it. You must also complete this site-specific training module for the energy farm. This training will allow you to do general work at the energy farm, but additional training is required if you are to operate tractors and other equipment or work in areas requiring a respirator. Emergency communication and equipment. It is important to know where to find emergency contact information and emergency supplies and equipment before you need them. Your primary communication device is your cellular phone. Keep it with you at all times and be sure your cell phone is fully charged. If you are faced with an emergency, call 911 and you will be connected to the Champaign County METCAD dispatcher. There is also a phone in the office building. Know where it is located. There are emergency sirens located in the community. If the siren sounds, go to the safe shed located on the farm. You should also register with the campus's Illini alert system, emergency.sites.illinois.edu. Mobile phone numbers will be used to send a text when inclement weather is approaching or when there are other emergencies in the campus area. The campus will send out an all-clear text via the Illini alert system when the danger has passed. Severe weather conditions represent significant hazards in agricultural fieldwork. Always check the weather radar map monitor before heading out to the fields. Severe weather can approach rapidly, so you need to know what to expect every day. If the weather radar map monitor is not functioning, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, weather radios will tell you about watches or warnings. You can also check a weather app on your phone to see if the weather is expected to change. If a severe weather watch is issued, keep a close eye on the weather conditions and return to campus if it is safe to do so. When a tornado warning is issued, a funnel cloud has been sighted in the area. Take shelter immediately in the safe shed located at the farm. If you are unable to get back to campus or to the safe shed, seek low-lying ground or a nearby ditch. Do not take shelter in a trailer or any of the metal sheds. These buildings are not designed to provide safety during a tornado. If a severe weather watch is issued, keep a close eye on the weather conditions and return to campus if it is safe to do so. When a tornado warning is issued, a funnel cloud has been sighted in the area. Take shelter immediately in the safe shed located at the farm. If you are unable to get back to campus or to the safe shed, seek low-lying ground or a nearby ditch. Do not take shelter in a trailer or any of the metal sheds. These buildings are not designed to provide safety during a tornado. Safety supplies are stored in the main building. The safety cabinet contains protective eyewear, chemical safety goggles, and hearing protection. First aid kits are also located in the main building on Race Street and additionally in the office trailer along the Philo Road entrance to the energy farm. The first aid kit is supplied with various sizes of bandages, burned and antiseptic creams, gauze wraps, ACE bandages, tweezers, and scissors. If you notice something missing, please notify the supervisor. Accidents happen even when equipment is properly maintained. People are well trained and they are following safe work procedures. Always call 911 if the injury is serious or if you have doubts about the seriousness of an injury. If someone receives a minor injury, it is important that you know what to do and where to go for medical attention. Report the injury to your supervisor, not a coworker, and seek medical attention. Students should go to the McKinley Hospital on Lincoln Avenue if the injury occurs during normal working hours. If the injury occurs after hours or on holidays, students should go to the emergency room at Carl Hospital or at Presence Health Hospital. Students should also complete an injury form at the first opportunity and give it to their supervisor. Employees who receive minor injuries on the job should report immediately to their supervisor. Employees should seek medical attention at the Occupational Medicine Department at Carl or SafeWorks of Illinois if the accident happens during normal business hours. If the injury occurs after 5 p.m. on a weekend or on a holiday, they should go to the emergency room at Carl or Presence Health Hospital. Employees who are injured on the job are required to complete an injury report form and give it to their supervisor. Be aware of your health when working outside in hot and sunny conditions. When working out in the fields or just being outside in the sun for extended amounts of time, take plenty of water and drink often to prevent dehydration. Use sunscreen for skin protection and wear loose, lightweight, and light-colored clothing. Wearing a hat is also recommended. Heat stress is the first sign that it's time to take a break and cool down. Remember, wear loose, breathable clothing, wear a hat, apply and reapply sunscreen when out in the fields. Always have plenty of water on hand, drink frequently, and avoid caffeine. Heat exhaustion is the first step to heat stroke. Symptoms of heat exhaustion include heavy sweating, paleness, muscle cramps, tiredness, weakness, dizziness, headache, nausea or vomiting, and fainting. Remember, when the temperature rises, take frequent breaks and drink plenty of fluids to stay hydrated. Know the signs of heat exhaustion. The skin may be cool and moist. The victim's pulse rate will be fast and weak, and breathing will be fast and shallow. If heat exhaustion is left untreated, it may progress to heat stroke. Seek medical attention immediately if any of the following occurs. The symptoms are severe, the victim has a history of heart problems or high blood pressure. Help the victim cool off, rehydrate, and seek medical attention if the symptoms worsen or last longer than 1 hour. Heat stroke, if left untreated, can lead to death. Warning signs are an extremely high body temperature, red, hot, and dry skin with no signs of sweating, rapid, strong pulse, throbbing headache, dizziness, nausea or vomiting, confusion, and unconsciousness. If you or one of your coworkers exhibit heat stroke symptoms, call 911 immediately to get medical assistance. In the event of someone experiencing a heat stroke, call 911 for immediate medical assistance. While waiting for help to arrive, get the victim to a shady area. Even better, if a vehicle is nearby with air conditioning, have the person sit in the vehicle. Cool the victim as rapidly as possible, such as placing wet shop towels or cloths on the person's exposed skin. Do not give the victims fluids to drink. At this point, the victim may begin vomiting, and this will only further dehydrate them and possibly choke. Fire safety. In the event of a fire, everyone in the area needs to be aware of the situation. Workers in the field may be wearing hearing protection. Be sure that the warning is being shared. Verify that someone is calling 911. Know where the fire extinguishers are located. Be sure you are comfortable using them. Should a fire occur at the main building, the local fire department will be automatically notified. Call 911 if a fire is located in any other building. Know your exit strategies in the event of a fire. The emergency evacuation assembly location is in the main building's parking lot. All workers are to meet at that location so everyone is accounted. Know where the fire extinguishers are located. Most are located near exit doors. The main building has pull alarm stations next to the extinguishers. Before going out to the fields, make sure the vehicle is equipped with a fire extinguisher and first aid kit. The acronym for proper use of a fire extinguisher is PASS, P-A-S-S. Pull the pin. This will allow you to discharge the extinguisher. Aim at the base of the fire. Aiming at the flames will do nothing. You want to hit the source of the fire. Squeeze the top handle or lever. This releases the pressurized extinguishing agent in the canister. Sweep from side to side from a safe distance away and then move forward. Once the fire is out, keep an eye on the area in case of reignites. Be aware of safety precautions when fueling equipment and vehicles. If you have been operating a piece of machinery for a while, let it cool down before refueling. If it is at the end of the day, wait until the next morning to refuel. It only takes a small spark or heat source to create a fuel fire. When filling up fuel containers or gas cans, always remove them from the vehicle and place on the ground. Never fill a container in the back of a truck. Doing so could build up a static charge, and when you remove the nozzle from the container, it can create a spark and ignite a fire. Grass fires are very common in this area. Pay attention to the weather conditions, such as wind speeds and directions. Should a grass fire ignite, dial 911 immediately. Grass fires can spread rapidly. Get away from the area upwind of the blaze. During certain times of the year, burn bans are implemented in the county. Do not park cars, trucks, or ATVs on dry grass or weeds. Exhaust systems on vehicles can reach temperatures of more than 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It only takes 500 degrees Fahrenheit to start a grass fire in the summer. Maintain equipment in good working order. Any equipment that will be near grass, such as mowers or tractors, must be in good working order. Overheating or sparking can cause a grass fire. Personal protective equipment. Eye protection should be used when any of the following hazards are present: dust and other flying particles, such as metal shavings or sawdust, corrosive gases, vapors and liquids, molten metal that may splash, and intense light from welding and lasers. Grasses are a significant hazard to unprotected eyes and skin. Miscanthus blades become very sharp once they reach a certain level of maturity. The photo on the right is of a magnified miscanthus blade. Note that it has saw-toothed edges which are razor sharp. Be sure to wear lightweight, long-sleeve shirts and safety glasses to protect yourself. Eye and face protection must be appropriate for the task you will be conducting. In the upper left-hand photo is the standard wraparound safety glasses, which can be tinted and are suitable for most field work. A face shield, as seen in the upper right picture, is appropriate for tasks where there is flying debris, such as operating a weed eater. Face shields can be combined with hearing protection and with hard hats. Safety goggles, as shown in the lower left, protect the eyes from splashes and should be worn when handling liquids or doing work in the lab. A welding mask is essential to protect your face from airborne hot metal particles and to protect your eyes from harmful welding arc rays. Even bystanders can be injured during welding operations and should wear eye and face protection when in the area. 3 types of protective gloves are typically used for conducting work in agricultural settings. Durable gloves made of leather or canvas provides protection from cuts and burns. Heavy leather gloves are worn when using a welding machine. Fabric and coated fabric gloves protect you from dirt, minor cuts, and abrasions. Latex, nitrile, or neoprene gloves can protect your skin from chemicals, but different materials protect against different chemicals. Be sure you're using the glove that matches the information provided in the chemical product label or on the safety data sheet. Equipment such as chainsaws, weed eaters, tractors, mowers, and wood chippers make noise that is loud enough to permanently damage your hearing. Exposure to loud noises has an accumulating, chronic, and sometimes delayed effect on hearing. Certain tasks require that you wear hearing protection. You must wear ear cuffs or ear plugs when conducting these tasks or working in the immediate vicinity. You may choose to wear a combined eye, face, hearing protection hood. The dust masks, as pictured on the left, are used frequently in dusty agricultural environments. Task-specific respirators are sometimes needed depending on the hazard. Check with your supervisor before you conduct a task if you think you may need a respirator. Use of respirators requires you to be fitted with the specific type for the task and to receive medical evaluation prior to use. Closed-toe shoes are required to be worn at all times. Flip-flops, sandals, or any other form of open-toed shoes are not allowed. You may wish to have a pair of rubber boots available for rainy, muddy days. Leather or steel-toed boots are recommended for some tasks. This leather boot was hit by a deck mower. Wear the proper footwear protection for the job you are doing on any given day. Fall protection is required for working 6 feet above surface level. When using scaffolding or ladders, you should use the 4-to-1 ratio. This means for every 4 feet of height, the scaffold should be 1 foot wide. If you are using a scaffold which does not have guardrails, you must use a safety harness. This same 4-to-1 ratio applies to the use of ladders. For every 4 feet of height, the base of the ladder should be placed 1 foot away from the side of the building. Also, you must have 3 feet of the ladder extending over the point of work. For example, the ladder must reach 3 feet above the base of the roof, shown in this picture. Working with chemicals. Chemical exposure can occur by absorption through the skin and eyes, by inhalation into the lungs through breathing of fumes or dust, by ingestion through handling chemicals and then touching something that goes into your mouth, and by injection, such as through a puncture wound. If you need to use or apply agricultural chemicals as part of your work, you must be certified to do so through the Illinois Department of Agriculture. Please check with your supervisor before handling any agricultural chemicals. Be aware of the properties of chemicals you handle. Your first source of information is the manufacturer's label on the container. If you need additional information, all safety data sheets are available to you online. Safety data sheets, normally referred to as SDSs, are available on the web. Additional chemical information is available in the Merck, SACS, and other reference books or on product labels located at the farm. The emergency eye wash station is located in the back labs. If you have something splash in your eyes, rinse them for at least 15 minutes. After flushing your eyes, notify the staff or your supervisor. Seek medical attention if needed. Properly label containers holding any chemicals. All containers must be properly labeled with information regarding the chemical, unless the chemical is completely used before the end of the workday and the container is properly cleaned before returning it to storage. If the container has a chemical in it for more than one day, it must have a label placed on it. Do not place anything except food and drinks in the refrigerators. You should always store chemicals in the chemical storage cabinet. Electrical safety. Electrical shock occurs when current passes through the body. The severity of the shock depends on the path the current takes, the amount of current, and the length of time the circuit flows through the body. Low voltage does not mean low hazard. Be aware of your surroundings. Low-hanging electrical wires can be snagged on tractors. Always maintain a minimum distance of 10 feet between the equipment and the wires. Ground fault circuit interrupters are used for electrical safety, especially in high moisture areas. These devices interrupt electrical current when there is a short or faulty ground. We have ground fault circuit interrupters built into power sources throughout the farm. These look very similar to the electrical plugs in your bathroom at home. Lockout tagout is a procedure to ensure machinery is completely de-energized and cannot be re-energized until the lockout has been removed. All equipment should be locked out when being serviced. Never remove someone else's tags. Procedures for lockout tagout are described in a separate training module. If you need the lockout tagout training, please discuss this with your supervisor. Power tool safety. All power tools should be maintained with care. They should be kept sharp and clean for the best performance, and lubricated as required per the user's manual. Before operating a power tool, be sure to wear the proper eye and hand protection. Proper apparel should be worn. Loose clothing, ties, jewelry, and long hair can be caught in moving parts. All portable tools that are damaged or have frayed or cut cords must be removed from use and labeled "Do Not Use" until replaced or repaired. Pressurization hazards. Hydraulic systems contain over 2,800 psi within the lines. After using a tractor for an extended amount of time, these lines will become very hot. Therefore, not only is the hazard of pressurized oil, but the oil itself will be very hot and will cause burns to your skin. Power washers can significantly abrade exposed skin. Never aim a power washer at someone. Compressed air is a very useful and common power source in a shop area. Take appropriate measures to protect yourself, including wearing of safety glasses when using an air wand to blow dust out of machinery or filters. Air hoses can store energy that escapes when disconnected. Keep a strong grip on the hose and point the connection away from your body until the energy has dissipated. Never point an air hose at yourself or others. Machinery guards. The PTO transfers power from the tractor to another implement via a drive shaft. A PTO rotates at 1,000 to 540 rotations per minute. Universal joints, most often referred to as a U-joint, and knuckle joints are the most hazardous areas because the guards do not entirely cover the area. Always keep away from these to prevent becoming entangled and serious injuries. When servicing machinery, it requires removing the protective shielding and guarding. When the maintenance is completed, all shielding and guarding should be reinstalled. The photo on the right is a harvester in transport mode with shielding removed. The left photo shows the guarding properly reinstalled. We have equipment on the farm that has been designed and built by students and researchers. These do not have standard safety mechanisms as they are still in the development phase. A risk assessment of the equipment is conducted before it can be used. This evaluation determines if additional safeguards or shields are required to minimize the risk of injury. Never use a piece of equipment if it has not undergone this risk assessment and if you are not certain it is properly guarded. This slide is one of the knife mills. Always use the pushing device, which is in the center of the picture. This protective device keeps fingers and hands from becoming pulled into the knife mills. If the knife mill ever gets plugged, do not use your hands or fingers to clear out trapped debris. The mill could begin spinning and cause a loss of a finger. When servicing this machine, it will require a lockout, tagout safety measure. Other machinery safety. We have all-terrain utility vehicles to travel from field to field. However, You must have hands-on training and approval from your supervisor to use any ATVs at the farm. Grass pathways are for accessing the field plots. Do not, under any circumstance, drive through the plots. Avoid driving on farm pathways after it has rained. Muddy pathways can be damaged by vehicles. Travel at a safe, slow speed on the farm. Pathways have rough spots that can cause vehicle damage. Be cautious at pathway intersections. As crops get taller, it's hard to see oncoming vehicles. Do not stand up in the back of the Kubotas or pickup trucks while they are moving. Stay seated in the bed until the vehicle has stopped. If pathways are wet, use the Kubotas as they are much lighter and do less damage. Go around mud puddles and wet spots if possible. Never drive through the research plots. If you ever have questions about safety, ask before you act.